Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Superhost. Well, I guess I always say this, but I'm really excited to talk to you about this film because again, I've just been like really lucky, and even though we don't have Shudder here in Portugal, they kindly sent it to me, sent this movie, because as soon as I knew the cast, I knew I had to watch this film, and because we don't have Shudder, it would be like hard for me to watch it. So yeah, I reached out to them and they kindly sent it to me just because, and I feel like it was because most of you are from the United States or from countries that have Shudder. So if you have Shudder in your country, this movie will be available on September 2nd. So yeah, if what I'm about to tell you looks interesting, check it out. So yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to say. Just thank you for sending this one to me. And yeah, let's dive into it. So Superhost is about two YouTubers that do like travel vlogs, that go into rental homes and just review the houses. So that's what happens in this movie. They go to this place and there they meet the host of the place, who will do anything to have a good review. That's how I can put it without going really into it, because to be honest, this film is pretty basic. It really doesn't have like a complicated story, so I can't really tell you much more. Now for the cast, which is a pretty good cast, this movie stars Grace Phipps, Barbara Crampton, Sarah Canning, and Osric Shaw. Like the two names that really caught my eye, believe it or not, was not Barbara Crampton, even though I do know her, but it was Osric Shaw, who I know from Supernatural, and Sarah Canning, who is in the new Nancy Drew TV show, but I know her from Vampire Diaries, that, you know, it's my all-time favorite show, and my second favorite is Supernatural. So yeah, I was like really excited about this film because they are actors that they aren't really famous, like they're not the main cast in their shows, but I like their characters and I like them as actors. So yeah, let's just get into my thoughts so I can talk about their performances. So overall, I'll say that this is one of those movies that have a good concept, but then just falls flat, unfortunately, because I really wanted to love this film. It has a lot of the elements that I love, but unfortunately I just liked it. It's not that it's a bad movie, I'm just going to tell you that it's just that it just doesn't deliver at the end. Like, it has a bunch of good things, like the acting is great, the score is pretty good, and he incorporates like the technology and, in this case, YouTube and all of that, which, you know, you're watching me on YouTube. So I really like when movies, and they have been doing this a lot right now, they incorporate like social media, and they did this previously like a few years ago with Unfriended, but it's not really the same thing. I like when they incorporate like these people that like their jobs are social media. So I like that aspect. It also incorporates one of my favorite subgenres of horror, which is home invasion. However, they don't really dive deep into that, and that's one of my criticisms. I feel like they could have leaned more into the home invasion part of the movie, because overall the film, as I said, is pretty basic. It's not complicated at all, and it becomes a bit predictable, and they just tried, I think, a bit too hard in keeping the mystery when there's not really much mystery. You get right away sort of what is happening, and I wish they just lean more into the home invasion part of the movie, because it does end up being predictable and a bit cliche, and I wish they just assumed that instead of trying to keep the mystery when there's not really a big mystery. So yeah, I wish they did more on the home invasion department, because that is only like the last 30 minutes of the film, and yeah, I wish it was more, not only because I like it, but also because I feel it would have been better as a whole. Like, you straight up know what's happening. Like, the moment you get to the house, you know what's happening. So yeah, but as I said, I really enjoyed the acting, and not only the two leads have like pretty good chemistry, but also like the villain is like super weird, and like it just gives you an uneasy feeling because she's so over the top. And yeah, it's good acting. It might look a bit silly, but I think it was the intent, and I did like that. I also liked that the movie gets pretty brutal. However, the gore, I think from what I've seen, it looks like it's mostly CGI, and the CGI is not good. I don't know what happened here, because I've looked it up, and the director who also wrote the film, he also did the editing and the special effects and the color grading, if I'm not mistaken. So this movie was pretty much all the director. He did pretty much everything, and he also did the visual effects for the movie Bliss, not the one that came out this year, the one that came out in 2019, I think. And I love that film. It looks gorgeous, and from what I remember, the special effects are pretty good. So I don't know what happened here. So I like that they went all out on the gore, but it didn't look real. So yeah. And the same goes for the cinematography. Like, the movie starts out great, it looks beautiful, but by the end it just looks like the editing looks a bit sloppy, and the color grading is just weird. It almost feels like he was tired of editing the film and just rushed it. And I don't know, maybe it was the intent, but to me it just looked really weird. I don't know. In the end, I would say this is an entertaining film. I would still recommend for the social media YouTube part of it, because it was interesting. And on that note, I compared these to Spree and The Rental. It's pretty similar to The Rental, but it incorporates like the social media aspect that is in the movie Spree. So yeah, it's a mix of those. It's not as good as either of those, to be honest. I like those other movies more than this one. But as I said, it's still entertaining. It's just, I feel like it could have been better. It started out great, but it just doesn't deliver at the end, unfortunately. Post that, let's get into my scores. Overall, I give the movie a 3 out of 5. As I said, it's not a bad film. It's a good film. But yeah, I wanted a bit more. I feel like I've been saying this for a few movies, but I just see the potential, and it just doesn't reach what I think it could have been. So yeah, but it's not bad. So a 3 out of 5. Cinematography, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I don't know, maybe it was intentional, but I wasn't a fan. And originality, I give it a 3 out of 5, because I don't think I have seen a film about YouTube and a film about like travel vloggers. So I like that aspect. Everything else is a bit cliche. The movie also has some hints of The Boy and a bit of Unfriended as well. So it incorporates a bunch of films together, but I still think it's a little bit original, so yeah. So yeah guys, these are my thoughts on Superhost. Unfortunately not as good as I wanted it to be. Still entertaining, so if what I said was interesting to you, I would recommend you watch it. As I said, it will be available on Shudder September 2nd, and yeah, once you watch it, let me know in the comments what you thought. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.